This is Puppets by Arlie. I'm Arlie, and this is Talk About String. The most common question I get asked is what type of string to use for string marionettes. And the answer is whatever string you have. But for best results, it's often recommended that you use braided deep sea fishing line. So this deep sea fishing line can come in multiple strands, meaning that there's multiple fibers in one string, and they're braided so that it cuts down on fraying when you cut it. A brand of fishing line I really like is Hercules fishing line because they're cheap and good. Another brand that you'll hear puppeteers talk about is Dacron. I have some Dacron here. Now, each of these braided fishing lines come in multiple pounds. So this here, this is 30 pounds. So it's a pretty thin strand. I also have some Hercules 100-pound here. You wouldn't necessarily use this for stringing. I use this for internal joint strings. In the Dacron brand, this is a 50-pound, so it's a little thicker. The string brands are different levels of strength depending on what pound they say they are. I've found best results of buying different spools and finding which one you like the best. I'm a big believer of whatever string is right for the puppet should be the string you should use. If it's a lightweight puppet, you want thin, small strings. If it's a heavy puppet, of course, you want heavy, thick strings to be able to hold it up. A school of thought is that the strings are supposed to disappear as much as possible. Puppeteers do use clear fishing wire, although it does reflect light, so sometimes it draws more attention than just the plain black does. Not only is deep sea fishing line used for string puppets, but you can also use it for rod puppets. I have it here on my trigger of my coronavirus puppet. Braided fishing line comes in multiple colors. I always buy black, but you can buy neon or bright colors, and I've seen puppeteers use the bright colored fishing line for if there's an internal mechanism string, so that when you work on the puppet it's easier to see. And then likewise, if you want the strings to disappear, the idea is to use black string. At times you'll want a string that can slide through the screw eyes, like on your running hand string. So you don't want it to catch or fray over time and break, even though all strings are prone to get broken. But this deep sea fishing line tends to last a lot longer against fraying. The deep sea fishing line comes in multiple strands, sometimes 4 strands or 8 strands. I don't find a difference much between how many strands are in there. I just go for overall strength. In addition, I always put glue on my knots with deep sea fishing line. Sometimes by design, it's kind of slippery. So when you glue the knots, it will be able to stay. And the nice thing about this Duco cement is when you glue the knot, you can also, if you need to, take a needle and undo the knot. So it helps hold it, but it is not totally a permanent situation. Other than deep sea fishing line, I've had success using heavy duty sewing thread. I've also heard of puppeteers using beading thread or upholstery thread. So it's really just up to you as the puppeteer to decide what kind of string is best for your puppet. So there you have it. Those are the types of strings to use for marionettes. Thanks for watching.